Last year was a huge year for me. I had been 6 months post quitting my 9-to-5 job and had moved from DC back to Florida with my husband, and we actually moved in with my husband's sister for a few months to keep our budget in check and our costs down low because we literally ran out of all of our savings. I was barely making any money each month and was really starting to worry whether or not this whole quitting my job and working for myself thing was ever gonna actually work. At the beginning of 2022, I had made $0 from freelancing and only a tiny bit of money here and there from my YouTube channel. But effectively, I was making all of my money from gig work, such as Instacart shopping or Rover pet sitting. So I really hadn't proven to myself that I was capable of making any money outside of these already structured ways of creating an income for myself. I set a lot of goals in January, and some of them I met, but others I didn't. And if you watch my video from last week where I talked about self-discipline and self-love and how the way you set your goals has a huge impact on whether or not you actually achieve them. Oh, here's the cat. Then you'll know, don't drink my drink, that I have utilized the golden circle method to set my goals, which I found to be a much better structure to achieving your goals. So today I thought it would be fun to look back at the goals that I achieved and the goals that I didn't and see how we can adjust my goals from 2022 that I didn't achieve to make them better for 2023. But before we get into that, I wanted to explain to you guys what the golden circle method is and how to use it in case you missed my last video, but I will make it quick. The golden circle method is basically a method that is used in branding and marketing to basically structure a business in a way that shows their value to a potential customer. But I like to use this method to set my goals. You start by looking at the what, or what the actual goal is in this scenario. Then you look at the how, or how you're going to achieve this goal. And then lastly, which I find to be the most important part, you look at the why and you make sure that this why is aligned with your values and your overall vision for your life. Because if it's not, it's going to be much harder for you to stick to your how to actually achieve your what. And another factor that I found extremely beneficial for actually achieving my goals has been cutting out the 5 coffees a day that I would like to drink. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. I drink more like 3 a day when I was at my 9-to-5 job, and switching to drinking Magic Mind for my second cup of caffeine for the day. Magic Mind is a matcha shot that is filled with adaptogens and nootropics that help to increase your productivity while also decreasing that slump you get halfway through the day when you drink coffee. Before I started drinking Magic Mind, I was actually trying to do the same thing by taking supplements such as ashwagandha and L-theanine along with my coffee in the morning. But I found that number one, that only got me so far, and number two, this didn't really solve my issue of needing a cup of coffee on the go when I was in a rush. Since Magic Mind is in a perfect little bottle that you can take with you on the go, and you're even able to just take it straight up like a juice shot, it is the most convenient way to get that second kick of caffeine throughout the day without driving through Starbucks and wasting your money on a cup of coffee that's just gonna give you the jitters and make you crash a few hours later. Magic Mind recently released their new formula, which I think is a million times better tasting as well as faster acting. This new formula only takes 3 to 5 minutes to actually take effect, and you really do feel a difference very quickly after drinking it. If you haven't tried Magic Mind yet, then make sure to head down to my description to click my link and use my code PaigeW20 to receive 20% off your first order of Magic Mind. But now let's get right back into the goals. Boba also really likes Magic Mind. Really? Now you're not gonna drink it? Okay. So for the purposes of this video, we're gonna focus on 2 main goals that I had in 2022 to see how, oh my gosh, stop drinking it. She keeps trying to drink my Magic Mind. And these 2 goals are in the categories of finances as well as career/business. At the beginning of 2022, I set some pretty lofty financial goals considering I had made $0 outside of gig work like I was talking about earlier. The first one was that I wanted to pay off $3,600 in student loan debt, which I did not do, but also with the pause continuing and us not knowing what's gonna happen with student loans, I did not want to actually pay that off at all. I wanted to raise my cash savings to 4 months of expenses or $10,000 because at the time I wanted to keep my expenses under $2,500, which now I'm seeing is not gonna happen. But also that's lifestyle creep. at its finest. But this goal I actually have almost met because I currently have about $8,500 in cash savings set aside. So I'm almost there, even though we are a few months into the next year. Then I wanted to invest $200 in crypto and $200 in stocks each month. I did not end up doing this, and I'm still working out what I want my investing plan to look like and what I want those goals to be. So stay tuned for that, but I didn't meet that goal either. And then I wanted to invest $1,200 into my Roth IRA. I wanted to do $100 per month. I did not do that, but I did invest a total of $1,500 actually for the year 2022, except I invested all that money in January, February, and March of 2023. So I did meet this goal technically because it was my 2022 Roth, but I invested the money in 2023. And then I wanted to increase our income to $5,000 per month combined, which I most definitely did. The first month that I did that in 2022 was actually before I even started using YNAB again, which is the budgeting software that I love. I'll have a referral link down for you guys below so you can get 1 month for free. Highly, highly recommend. But in October, I was already making in combined income with me and my husband $6,700, and that only increased each month since then. We made on average about $8,000 per month since October until this month of March. So we easily outpaced that goal, which is amazing, especially considering we were making barely any money in January of 2022. I wanted to make $1,500 in self-employment income per month by the end of the year, which again, I definitely did. I had stopped Rover pet sitting and all gig work and everything by October when we made that first $6,700. My husband makes about $2,000 to like $2,300 a month. So I was definitely making over $1,500 in self-employment income. And then I wanted to improve my credit score to 800, and this is for what you will see is my new financial goal for 2023. So if you didn't already catch on, all of these goals are basically the what. They're what I want to achieve in 2022, but I never went into the how I was going to achieve it, nor did I go into the why. And although some of these goals are connected to basically be a what and a how, such as if I want to save a certain amount of money, then I need to make a certain amount of money or things like that. Just because I had those hows all there, it didn't help me connect them as linked or help me to actually understand why I wanted to achieve those. So here's how I'm restructuring my financial goals for 2023 to actually meet that what, how, why of the golden circle method and make it a lot easier for me to actually stay disciplined and achieve these goals. So at the end of the day, most of those goals that I just mentioned were to achieve the what of being able to buy a duplex or our first home. My husband is going to medical school and is currently in the application process, so he will be starting med school in fall of next year, so about August of 2024. So that's basically 16 months from now that we want to be able to buy a duplex. And the reason we want to buy a duplex is because we want to rent out the other half of the duplex and then eventually be able to buy another single family home and rent out both pieces of that duplex. And it works out pretty well because since he will be going to med school, we could buy that duplex near a college or a university, which will be a great place for an investment property, especially one that's a duplex. So our current plan for this is to put about 10% down and looking for a duplex around the $400,000 range. So we're looking at about $40,000 in cash that we would want by July of 2024. This equates to about $2,500 a month. So this is our how. What do we want to do? We want to buy a duplex. How are we going to do it? By saving $2,500 in cash per month in a high yield savings account, which for my high yield savings account, I use Betterment, which is also where I like to invest. It is a robo-advisor that also has a high yield savings account within it. And their current APY is actually 4.2%. And you don't have to meet any specific terms or conditions such as, setting up direct deposit or paying a certain fee or anything like that. It's just a flat 4.2%. I will have a link to Betterment down below for you guys in case you want to check it out. But I've been using Betterment since I was actually 16 years old, which is a whole story for another day on my investing journey, but I absolutely love Betterment. It's super easy to use, and yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about them. So now the most important part is the why. So why exactly do we want to buy a duplex? What's the point besides it'd be great to own our own home? The why is that we want to keep our monthly expenses low while Oliver is in med school, so he doesn't have to stress about trying to work while going through school, and I also don't have to stress about making $1 million to be able to pay $2,200 in rent each month while he's in med school. And on top of that, if we have a duplex or a home in general, we would most likely be able to have a larger space. You can get much more for your money if you're actually buying a property versus renting. Right now we're in a 1-bedroom. It's actually 900 square feet, which is amazing, but it literally is only 1 bedroom. So both me and Oliver have our desks out in the living room, and it doesn't really make for an ideal study location while he would be in med school, nor does it make really a good work environment for me. If he's going to be studying for school while I'm also trying to work from home, it's going to be really hard if we're both home at the same time in the same room trying to work. We're both very independent type of workers. We like to be quiet and work on our own and have our own environments while we're getting done what we need to get done. So we both know that the most ideal situation would be that we have a 2 or 3 bedroom home that we can structure so that we're able to each work independently when we need to during the day. And on top of it being more convenient, selfishly, I know that if we have a good space for Oliver to work, he will be more likely to work at home instead of going off to the library every day to study, which would be ideal for me because med school is going to be a huge commitment. And even if he doesn't get to hang out with me, if I just get to see him or know that he's home with me, it will feel a million times better. So that is my why at the end of the day. And do you see already how that is so much more effective at making me want to make sure we keep our expenses low and work hard to make money to actually save up to buy this duplex? I could make this why go on and on and on by looking at the future trajectory of actually meeting this goal and how it's going to affect our future and our family and when we want to have kids. But I can keep it simple and really close to right now so I know what the benefits will be just 16 months down the road. So the next goal I'm going to get into is that career or business goal, which at the end of the day, what I'm going to be talking about is YouTube. So last year I set 2 pretty large goals for my YouTube channel. One was to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and the other was to be hitting around an average of 100,000 views per month on my channel. Now for this goal, I did say the what, which was those 2 items, and then I did actually break down the how, which is a little bit better than the goal above, where I said I wanted to post 2 times per week on my YouTube channel, 2 times per week on Instagram, and 2 reels per month on Instagram, and then repost those to TikTok. I also mentioned that I wanted to collaborate with 5 other channels this year. And then for my 100,000 views, I wanted to follow this specific video purpose strategy that I like to recommend to any of the clients I work with on their YouTube channel, as well as that I like to employ on my own YouTube channel. And all of this together was my how. But again, what I am missing is the why. So although this was a great goal and it sounded wonderful and I could sit there and go, oh, well, if I have that many subscribers or I hit that many views, I might be able to make X amount of money. But at the end of the day, that wasn't a good enough why, because number one, I could not guarantee that by hitting 10,000 subscribers, I would make a certain amount of money, or that it would really do anything for anyone besides be some arbitrary number goal that I hit for subscribers. And for views, that really didn't give me much either. Again, I would maybe know that I could make, $600 a month if I was hitting 100,000 views on my channel, but that was pretty much it. So this goal was super ineffective at keeping me accountable, and I really struggled to stay consistent with my YouTube channel in 2022. And really the only thing that got me to consistency was hiring Alice to be my editor, which has been absolutely amazing, but also focusing on the correct why. Because even if I have an editor that helps me with the parts that, I don't enjoy as much, at the end of the day, if I don't have a reason why I'm doing this, I'm basically just doing a chore or a task to do it. There's no purpose or meaning behind it, and it's a lot easier to say,
you know what? Who cares if I don't post 2 videos this week? What's the big deal?
So this year, I'm completely changing that. Instead of having a what of hitting a certain number of followers or views, I'm actually making my what that I want to make $2,500 from YouTube per month. And now this already might be confusing because I want to make a certain amount of money per month. What does that actually have to do with anything? But just wait and I'll get to it. So my how is that I want to create 2 pieces of long form quality content per week and 3 pieces of short form content per week. These can be posted on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm not specifying directly, although it's clear that this mainly is YouTube, but I will be, of course, reposting my shorts, etc. on other platforms as well. But my main focus will be YouTube. But the key part here is when I get to the why. Number number one is that I want to inspire people to pursue the life they want and help them to get unstuck from their stagnant life that they're currently unhappy with. Because this is exactly where I was just 2 years ago from now. I was stuck in my 9-to-5 job, feeling like there was no other way for me to make money. I didn't know how I could transfer my skills into a different field or into even working for myself. Building a business seemed like this far off dream that I would never reach. And now I feel completely different about it. I have a much better perspective on the possibilities, and I'm much more confident in my ability to actually make money online. And the reason why I'm setting the what as make $2,500 per month is because this is a measurable goal. If I think about the why, which is to inspire people to live the life that they want to live at the end of the day, how exactly can I quantify that? Besides doing surveys and asking people, has my channel helped you, or things like that, there's really no way for me to actually quantify it. But if I'm looking at making $2,500, each of those dollars I made is directly correlating to someone that I help. And it also goes back to meeting my goals and my needs to actually make an income from YouTube, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to be able to do. Since my why and my vision and purpose for doing all of this is to be able to help other people and effectively help my sister when she gets out of prison in the future, which I know I've talked about before, I need to be able to actually make money from that if I'm going to do that full time. So by stating that I want to make $2,500 per month from my YouTube channel, I'm focusing on the actual business of the channel while sticking to my vision and my purpose behind it to actually make sure that I'm making quality content and that I'm focusing on trends and figuring out how I can improve my channel versus just, oh, I want to hit some arbitrary number of subscribers and hit an arbitrary number of views per month. That doesn't really correlate to the correct how that's going to help me achieve the goal in the first place. And that why also links back to that, because if my content is doing well and making me more money, it's also helping more people. Those two are connected. So that is how I am now structuring my YouTube goals for the year. But I also added on one last goal that is going to combine with these other two goals to really round out my vision and my purpose for the year and keep things super focused. So something I've always wanted to do, and a piece of my channel and my community and my brand and business that I'm building, is that I wanted to be able to achieve this concept of making passive income from my community and from my brand and from my YouTube channel, but I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do with that. And the issue was I always would say these like random, very vague goals of,
oh, launch a product,
or
create and launch some type of product that you can sell on your channel or through your email list.
But I didn't really know what that was going to look like or what the purpose of doing it was besides just like generating passive income. So this year, what I've decided to do is take that goal, but restructure it again into this framework so that it's much more attainable for me. So my what is that I want to make $1,000 per month in passive income. How I want to do that is by launching some type of product to my community. So before, my goal was just the how. I never had a what and I never had a why. So I want to launch a product. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but my why is going to help guide that. So my why for this one is to help people in ways that my free content can't, while also allowing me more financial flexibility to focus on my free content for my YouTube channel. If I keep just trading time for money by continuing to freelance at a very high level and working a ton of hours each week, it makes it a lot harder for me to be able to make quality content for my community and be able to help people for free on my community. On the flip side, if I'm able to offer a paid product that could help my community more than just a video walkthrough could or me talking could, then I would love to do that as well. So in 2023, I want to think through what could I create and what could I make that would actually help you guys on a much higher level. So if you have any ideas, let me know of how I could potentially help. But I do have some in the works and some things I've been thinking about. So that is the way I'm trying to structure this goal, is by focusing on how I can help others and how me creating this product and having this passive income is actually going to then still benefit my community who would be actually purchasing this product. And that's something that I feel like is very vision driven for me, because I am someone who really wants to help other people. And at the end of the day, that is my whole purpose for me doing all of this, because number one, I want to help you guys not feel stuck and unhappy in your life. And number two, I want to be able to make the money that I would need to make to support my sister and to help my mom and to support my family. And of course, also to help and benefit me and be able to have kids one day and work from home with my business and scale it to the level I want to scale it to. So it really hits all three of my kind of like triad of what I want out of my life and what my purpose is. So connecting all of these goals back to that is extremely important to actually being able to achieve them. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'm curious what your goals are for 2023. It is spring, so we can refresh and reset those goals if we need to. If you had very basic generic goals for the year, I really recommend that you go back and walk through this what, how, why process to see how you can structure them in a way that's going to make you much more able to achieve them by the end of the year. We still have 9 months left. There's plenty of time to achieve our goals. Again, don't forget that I literally was making pretty much no money until about halfway through of last year. So there is time to achieve your goals, whatever they may be, and you never know what's going to happen in such a short amount of time if you actually put your mind to it and work on it. So I really hope the best for all of you and can't wait to continue to support you through this YouTube channel and with this community. I love how supportive all of you are towards each other and towards me and also to yourself. So pat yourself on the backs today. Have a wonderful start to spring and quarter two, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Did I know? Can't be wasting my time just thinking about what I should be thinking of.